Good afternoon. Didn't think this was going to happen, but VPMonster has arrived. We're back on Virtual Pool 4 online, and we're back for another match, yet another match, in this year's 10 Ball Masters, and it's a one-loss side match between Snake Eyes and VPMonster. The room is up, both players are in, they're probably lagging off. The tablecloth colour is set at blue, so we don't have to do anything there. Welcome everybody. And well, Snake Eyes looks as if he's won the lag. Now, need I mention the rules again? It's 10 ball, it's winner breaks. They've already lagged for the break, we missed that. All shots, all non-obvious shots should be called, usually banks and combos. The 10 ball is an automatic force call, and there's no slop, and there's also no jump cues. I think that about covers it. There's a 60-second shot clock and a 60-second extension, so plenty of time. Well, this is an interesting match because although both players are on the one-loss side, Snake Eyes is predominantly 9 ball, whereas VPMonster doesn't really play 9 ball or 10 ball. He's usually more of a carom player, generally cowboy on the 10 footer, although he's turned his hand to 10 ball over the last couple of weeks after entering this tournament. So you'd have to say that Snake Eyes should be the favourite on paper for that reason, mainly because that's the game he plays. Again, he won't probably play a lot of 10 ball, mostly 9 ball. And a reminder, had VPMonster got in a bit earlier, we would have started the stream earlier. But then again, if both players aren't here, there's no point in starting a stream. But I would have been able to cover what's happened overnight. There were 2 matches last night, both way too late for me. We had the reset match between Moz and Moz and Jose. I think it was a round 2 match, and Moz won that 14-7. And we also had the match at 2 AM in the morning my time today, which was between Stub and Interchange X, Real Poland Power. Stub won that match by 14 racks to 8, and that about covers it. But we've also got a triple header, the third triple header in this tournament, and that's due to start tomorrow, and we'll cover that a bit later on. Good afternoon, Potman. And this is, and I need to have another look at the bracket, but this is the only match I intend to stream today. I've got other things to do, namely once this is over, the football's on, and I want to catch the end of the football. No, Vinces was here. In fact, he was chatting before the stream actually started. I could see it coming up on my screen. Miasma's here. Semi's arrived. Welcome everybody. Now there's a brave shot. Play the cut in the 2 and call the 10 ball for the billiard. How about that one? Because the cue ball's going to be running up that direction anyway, and he'll need to do well to avoid the traffic there. Well, he ran into the 10, he's potted the 2, and he's going to have to dig out a shot here for this 3 ball. Good afternoon, Bill. Yes, I'll clarify that for you, Semi. Semi-Pro has asked me to clarify, because on the last couple of streams I've mentioned that so far nobody has attempted to play a jump shot, and while I was chatting away during the stream yesterday, Semi-Pro got himself slightly hooked behind a 2-ball and attempted a jump shot. The first player to attempt a jump shot in the tournament. Obviously there are no jump cues, but a lot of people think jump shots aren't allowed. There is nothing to say that jump shots are not allowed, it's just jump cues aren't in the tournament. And so bravely, Semi-Pro attempted a jump shot, and then has probably decided he won't attempt another one because it was unsuccessful. And so we're waiting Yamaguchi Taru arriving at some point to explain how he manages to jump with bloody a house cue, not even a playing cue. Because if he can do it, then other people can do it. So Semi-Pro is the first one to bravely attempt it. Now who's going to be the first one to get a jump and actually jump a ball and play a legal shot? Well, VPMonster, far too much spinning the cue ball there. Big miscue. Try to find my bottle. So with ball in hand, now is he going to have to go behind that 5-ball, or can he, what's the angle? Oh, my mouse is at too high a DPI, hang on a minute. That's a bit better. Well, he's gone a wee bit square. Should be fine though. Can just stunny draw up the table onto the 6-ball. So a good opportunity if he can get this 6 and he needs obviously to get right back up the table, anywhere up on the left hand side, as long as he doesn't run behind the 9 or the 10, but he needs to get onto that 7 from that end. It's no point hanging about down here, and he's missed the 6. Now VPMonster has a bigger problem, because if he decides he's going to dig into this cue ball to draw off the side rail and across to the left, odds on he's going to scratch. Now that would be the, well, I'm going to say the simplest way to try and get back over to the left for that 7-ball, but it's the one that's going to leave you with a scratch in the left middle. It always is. Very strong likelihood of the cue ball going in, but it doesn't look as if he's going to do it. And in the end, well, he's going to have to come up with a safety. Oh, started yawning already, goodness me. Again, it's the same problem, guys. I've been at work today, I come home, I've had something to eat, and usually I want to have a nap after I've had something to eat, but I actually come up and had to get ready for the stream. Yeah, I was working from 6 o'clock this morning till noon, and I'll be doing the same tomorrow. And then on Monday at 6 o'clock in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. I usually find a sort of 15-minute nap helps me recover, but when I don't get it, I start falling asleep during the stream, especially this time in the afternoon. So this is a crucial one. Needs to bounce, and that will do very nicely. And should be the first rack on the board for Snake Eyes. Now I can get this bloody webcam to disappear just to verify. Snake Eyes from England, VPMonster, not from Boputiswana, but from United States. How the hell am I going to get rid of that? Right. So it is 1-0 to Snake Eyes. Breaks off rack number 2. And I'm one of a multitude of dry breaks in this tournament. The banks are open, but only on one side of the table. And the angle he's got, he can get back for the 2. Well, yeah, he's drawn back. It would have been perfect in the 2 if it hadn't run into that 4. So now, all out for the thin cut. I don't really think it was on, but he's going to get second prize here, I think. It looks like it. Yeah. Snake Eyes having to find a way to kick at this 2 ball. Now he can, between the 5 and the 10. Commentator's eye says he can go, oh, I need to get a better line than that thing, goodness me. Well, he's looking at another way, but I can see a line between the 5 and the 10 there, like that, to kick the 2. Now he's having a look at it, but that line is definitely there. Oh, he's gone. He might have had a wee bit of English on that, because if you hit a ball, the laws of physics in billiards are, if you hit a ball to a rail, plain ball at 45 degrees, is going to come off that rail at 45 degrees. Not that that was 45 degrees, I hasten to add, but that's basically how it should work. Is that you saying afternoon again, Parliament, or if you aren't on the beers already and you forgot you've already said good afternoon? Anyway, good afternoon again. Maybe it's that age where you can't remember whether you've said hello or not. Well, who was it? Oh, sorry, Parliament, it was Popman. It's my eyes, I'm half asleep. I forgot it was, see, it's because it's a PO. It was Popman earlier on. It's my memory that's gone. I do apologise. I told you I was tired. Right, well, this is a wee bit of a problem. 3 ball does go, but how can he avoid running into stuff at the top end of the table if he goes through with this cue ball? And if he draws back again, danger of scratching. And in the end, he's played neither here nor there. I don't think it's finished not too bad here for Monster, but this is a good chance. And again, sloppy stuff here from VPMonster. Now, that's a good sign of somebody who's just arrived in the lobby with like a minute before the match starts and doesn't look as if he's had much preparation. The only problem is it can very quickly be a crisis situation before he starts to sort of get his act together. So he's going to have to shake himself down here. This isn't easy here to get on the 5 ball, and I don't think there's enough of that showing. So VPMonster has got away with it so far. He's got he's going to at least get one more visit to the table, you would think. Well, that's another point, because we've got to remember that although it's 2 o'clock, well, tell a lie, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon here, 3:15, that would mean that it's at least you know, 9:15, 10:15, depending where he is. It could be 8:15 if he's over in the the west coast over on the California side, and so it and again, if he's had a late night, then he's probably still coming to. But he's got snake eyes in trouble here. Oh dear. Oh. Well, it's certainly the middle of the afternoon for me, considering I'm up at 4:30 every morning. Or at least it was 2:30 for like 5 months this year, and now it's gone to 4:30. So VPMonster using the safety to try and gain a breakthrough here from Snake Eyes. Not a difficult kick, but he's missed the kick. Oh, there's has arrived. Good afternoon. So ball in hand for Monster, and now has to find the path down to the 7. That needs to slow up. He doesn't want to go too low on it because he could run into that 10 ball. Now, if you go through with a bit of inside, which is what he's doing, he's just going to square it off the rail just to stop it running away, and he'll come across for the 8. Now, these are the little subtle things that, you know, players who don't necessarily know how to move the cue ball, these are the sort of things you should be looking for when you're watching and listening to the stream. That shot there, the one I was talking about, needed a little bit of inside left English, because the cue ball would have went to the rail and wanted to go way up the table. He had to stifle that. Where's the cue ball going? Goodness me. Well, that's poor to let it run at that pace, and that is a gift. After doing all the hard work with the safeties to get the opportunity, he's then blown it. Well, it's 2-0. Now, if that doesn't wake him up, I don't know what will. But he needs to cut out these errors. The errors are coming thick and fast here for Monster early on. And Snake Eyes 6 ball in the break, looking to play the combo in the 2. Now that 1 ball may well escape here, so he's not 100% certain of where things will end up. It could go to the rail, but he's okay. He's played it well. Now, what does he do? That pocket's wide open for the 3. I doubt very much he's going to be playing a combo, but if he can get straight in the 3, he can just roll straight through for the 4. But the problem with that is that the 4's a little bit tighter. There's not quite as much room, and if he doesn't get this dead straight, it'll make it much more difficult to pot the 4. And the angle he's got in the 3's not ideal. Needs to baby this in, and that's as good as you'll ever get it to get on that 4 ball. Now the cue's disappeared. What's happened to Snake Eyes? I hope it's not my connection. My connection actually went down about 20 minutes before this match was due to start. I think my hub was doing an update or something, and Snake Eyes has gone. As soon as you don't see the cue, usually tells you that there's something going on. I'll see if I can wake myself up here. Well, the football started, 20 minutes started, and for once the Scottish Premiership's got the full set of matches on this afternoon at the traditional time of 3 o'clock, which is amazing. So we wait on Snake Eyes getting back in, and he's arrived. Now there is a 10-minute timeout. If anybody gets disconnected, they've got 10 minutes to get themselves back into the match, or they will forfeit. Well, all that tells me, Potman, is that you couldn't afford the bus fare. That's all that tells me. Oh, don't tell me he's hooked himself. Is this not him playing the same shot again, or just about to? I think it is. I think it depends when he lost connection to the server. So the only problem is how to get on the 9. Now he's looking at the 9-10 combo. I don't think that's the best thing to be thinking of playing for, because there's plenty of room to get around the table and get on the 9. So this will determine what he's going to do here. If he's going to run through and play that 8 ball into the right middle, because the angle he's got in the 7 is not perfect here. This is just a bit fiddly, this. If he goes right through and up the table again, right through at the bottom rail or the top rail as we look, well, you see that's what he's doing. He's running through. I think his intention was to take this in the middle. He may well end up, I mean, even trying to cheat it into that corner pocket is not very good, because he's still not going to be anywhere near good in the 9 ball. So that's gone wrong. And now he's going to try and run through and probably take the 9 into the middle. And now he's back in good shape, and this rack is over, and VPMonster is going to have to do some shaking and really get the concentration going, because these mistakes are costly, and it's only a race to 10. So this is already a crisis on hand here. So Snake Eyes breaking off rack number 4. 2 ball goes down, no shot on the 1, always called the combo, onto the 9. He'll be playing this dead weight just to leave the 1 ball where it is, but the angle he's playing at this, he could end up hooking himself behind a 3. I think that's what's likely to happen here. Look at the, oh no, maybe not. In fact, it's a bit tight to get to the potting angle in that 9 ball. Yeah. Well, that'll do. So the kick and the 2 ball combo, 1 onto the 6, 6 onto the rail, and chip in the 9 ball. That's the plan here. Well, that's ended up a foul anyway, because I'm pretty certain he hit the 6 first, but the cue ball scratching took away any doubt on that shot. And once again, well, things are going wrong here for VPMonster, and it's ball in hand, so it's a bit awkward again. And I think Snake Eyes is gone again, and my first suggestion would be do a restart on the PC, get things cleaned out, and then rejoin the game. I was going to say that when he got back, that this might happen again if he doesn't maybe do a restart. Well, I still would. You know, it's sort of resetting, because when you restart your PC has to reconnect to the net. So I still think it's worth doing one way or another. I mean, I don't think you have to go as far as restarting your router, but well, that's twice it's happened. But you know, you should be doing everything to try and resolve the situation. It's unusual in the middle of an afternoon for your net to go down on a regular basis. It's unlikely there's sort of maintenance going on at this time of day, so it's either that or he's got like maybe 4 or 5 people using the net at the same time on laptops, which isn't good. So Snake Eyes is back in. He's hooked on the one. No, tell a lie, he's got ball in hand. I don't think he realises it now. Well, that depends where you are. I mean, there's like what 3-4 different time zones in the States. You've got Pacific time, you've got sort of Mountain time, and whatever the other time is, and then you've got Eastern Standard Time. But it's the middle of the afternoon here in the UK, so it's not. His disconnections aren't down to maintenance work. But nevertheless, he's looking good for 4-0 here. Now, at some point, VPMonster is going to have to make a move, and he's going to have to make it without making mistakes. Because he's already at that stage, you know. Well, I say should be trailing 4-0. And the simple shot here is just to pot the 8 and roll through for the 10 into the right middle, unless he's going to try and draw back for it. Yes, he is. But at 4-0 you can't afford, when you do get a chance, to throw it away, because Snake Eyes is just going to drift further and further away and closer to that number 10. And I think he's fairly regularly getting a ball in the break here, which is unusual. And look at the way these are spread. Well, if he gets good on this 2-ball, this rack's over, and he's overcooked it. Well, if anything, you draw back too much and come off the rail and come out. Well, he's got the cut, but of course the cue ball starts running and you get right out of line. And all that Monster can hope is that this bank doesn't go in and he gets a shot, because it could be a 4-9 combo to recover the situation here for Snake Eyes. He isn't in good shape here to get good in the 4. So the bank has been missed. Now the question is whether Monster plays from here or puts Snake Eyes back in. It's very doubtful that he's going to put Snake Eyes back in. He's going to go all out and try and get a rack in the board. And the 10-ball right out in the middle of the table is always a problem. So ideally he wants to get fairly straight on this 9 ball on the right hand side off the rail, and that's a bit too straight. I don't know whether he can go forward and come back up. Well, he's managed to pinch it over to the left. That will do, and as long as he takes his time, he should be off the mark. And let's see how his luck is in the break. Well, 7, no, I thought it was a 7 ball. There's 2 balls have gone in. I think one of them's a 9 in the bottom right. I don't know what the other one was. The 3 ball and a shot in the 1, and he's going to have to get, well, that looks pretty good. He's found the path to the 2 ball. Now have a quick look at where the 4 ball's going. Well, that's a problem, because it won't go into the middle pocket. That would have been the simple shot. The 7's acting as a blocker, but he can go forward with a bit of right hand side. He's drawing back. I'd much rather go forward and over to the right to get out into the table. Well, he's drawn back, and I'll have to probably draw again. Ah dear, has he gone far enough? Just. Well, I don't generally like drawing for position, because obviously it depends on what type of shot it is. A lot of the times you draw, it's just to get that cue ball into an open space, but I would have, if every time I played that shot there, I would have just went forward with a bit of right and around the angles and out. Still gets you there, but drawing it, you can either underdraw it or overdraw it, and then leave yourself a longer shot that you don't want. But the most important thing is, no matter how you do it, is that you get the task complete, and Monster has that opportunity now to get it back to within 2, and this is sorely needed from trailing 4-0. 2 ball all the way around the angles, just like a 3 ball break the other way that 2 ball went around, and a very thin cut in the 1, so he's going to call the bank, I would assume. Now if this goes and he can get in the 3, he might have a slim chance here of running this rack. Well, he's hung the 1. Where's the cue ball going? Well, he's left it on. The Snake Eyes may well have to use the rail and the 1 ball with a bit of spin to come around and out. Just playing it dead weight to leave it into the middle. Now how's the angle, because he's got to come up for this 4. This is a one where you have to ride your luck to get on this 4 ball, because you just don't know how this cue ball's going to run and if it's going to find that gap. So this is just fingers crossed you get there and you get a nice kiss. Well, that has been played exceptionally well. Little chip off the 8 ball. Yes, it's awkward over the 9, but he couldn't have asked for much better to get there. Got the nice little kiss off the 8 ball. Oh, well, he's made a complete hash of that. Got away with it, I think, though, but may well be in trouble in a minute. So the man in control of the table now is VPMonster, and these balls are all waiting to disappear if Snake Eyes can't find a path. and he should have a path to the right of that 5 ball to kick the 4. How tight is he to the 6? Well, no, he hasn't, and that's the bonus of getting close to the 6, because I think the 8 ball is interfering with the line as well, and now he's looking to just tie a ball up. He hasn't managed it though. So, ball in hand, and a chance, a very good chance to get this back to within 1. And once again, with a 1 minute shot clock, you take your time. There's no rush to get these balls put away. You've got to make sure you don't do something stupid. The angle here's not ideal, and that's left him a wee bit short, and now he's going to be running into the 7. He didn't want that, and this is where it can go wrong. It's not a gimme, this cut, and there's no saying what the outcome will be with the 7 ball. It's not too bad, but now the angle he has, he may well be close to running into that 9. Where's my bottle went to? Oh. Well, he's drawn away to avoid hitting the 9, then he's come around the angles and kicked it, and now he's got a tester, because this needs not only the potting angle but the little draw to hold for the 9, and that will do. And now he's got another problem, almost nailed to the rail, can only get the top third of the cue ball, and he's going to brush into the 10 and hope he doesn't push it right onto the rail, and that again will do. It gives him the shot, it's off the rail, and he should tuck this away. Well, the recovery has yet to be completed, but from 4-0 it's back to within 1. And no joy, but it's safe, and Snake Eyes will only have the push out. Now he needs to be careful with this push out, because Monster, being a cowboy player, will be able to pick a good line, or he should be, to leave Snake Eyes in trouble here, because there's a lot of blocking balls right in that middle of the table, and that's a very good opportunity for safeties. So Snake Eyes is actually in trouble here, and if he plays the push just to the left or the right, he'll be in deeper trouble in a minute or two. He's looking to just push it into the corner, but this is just opened up for the type of shot I'm talking about. Now Monster should have Snake Eyes in bother here again off this one. An awful lot of blocking balls. Well, he's got the snooker, but it's not a difficult kick. Would have been looking for something a bit better, but where the cue ball and the 1 ball wasn't that easy to get that done. I'll be honest with you, I mean, I don't know. I mean, every state in the United States has got all sorts of crazy rules for COVID, but I would think that if a big tournament like that is going to go ahead, there won't be any public in to watch it, and if they're going to run it and organise it properly, then they'll have to do proper testing as well. All the players will have to be tested before they would even think of letting something like that go ahead. And of course, between now and January is a long time, and especially through the winter months, you may well see a spike again with this thing. Meanwhile, VPMonster is right in the thick of it here, with a wide open opportunity to get this match all square. Brushing off the 8, bringing it into play and holding the line for the 6. Now, straight up the table to that right middle pocket would be ideal. Needs to keep going though. See, these type of shots you don't want. You want to, that should have been up the table another 10 inches. And there's where the mistakes happen, when you don't get up the table. It was so easy to overhit that and get up to the middle pocket. Even if he'd went up to the 10 ball, you know, he'd another foot to spare. And never leave yourself short like that, because you're always going to leave a tough testy pot. And there is a gilt edge chance gone again, all for the sake of just leaving it short on position on that 7. And it's pretty much a gift here for Snake Eyes, and we should have been all square. These are the type of things that you should be always thinking about, is making sure that you get on that ball in such a way that it makes it a lot easier. Well, this is going to be another sore one for Monster, because he's thrown it away. And from 4-0 to 4-3, looking odds on for 4-all. And now he's trailing by 2 again. And it's again a reminder, this is a one-loss side match. It's just a race to 10. I don't think anything's going in. Or, well, like, they're asking for trouble. I mean, if you're telling me they've lifted all restrictions and people are out partying and doing all of that stuff, then they're asking for serious trouble. That's just crazy. I mean, right now in the UK, we've got restrictions being relaxed, then being put back on, and being relaxed and being put back on all over the place. I mean, unlike the United States, where not only have you got, you know, all these different states with all their different rules and regulations, in the UK it's pretty similar from that point of view. You've got the local authorities and are guided by the local government and what they do. So, and even like when I go to work, where I live, I'm what, 16 miles as a crow flies from the part of Glasgow that I go to work, and the restrictions up there are now tighter than what they are where I am, because you can't have a gathering of any more than 6 people in Glasgow. So the restrictions have been tightened again, because the figures coming through showing that there has been a spike in the outbreak again, and this will keep happening. This is what will keep happening. And the problem is that as soon as you start to relax restrictions, people are very sort of short-minded. They then start, you know, this 2 meter rule goes out the window for a start. I can even see that when I'm working. Customers are leaning over your shoulder to get to a shelf, not giving any second thought to any 2 meter range. you know, and that's how it just keeps going on and on and on until they find a proper vaccine. Period. Until that happens, this is going to go on. And the downside, of course, is you can't have the complete lockdown that we've gone through, because businesses are shutting down, people are losing jobs, the economy's down the pan, and you can't have that continually going on. You have to try and get back to a sort of normal life, but the problem with that is there's too many ignorant, stupid people living around about us that are the ones that are causing problems. Idiots having parties, having all-night raves, all of these idiots. That's the problem. And you'll never drum common sense into these half-wits until one or two of them drop dead because of it, and then they might sort of work out, oh yeah, well maybe we should have did this, maybe we shouldn't have done that. Anyway, it's back to within one. Snake Eyes kicking the one ball, hoping to get safe, hasn't got it. And well, why am I saying semi-pro? VPMonster trying to get spun around for the two, and that looks pretty good, but he's going to have to work an extremely good shot here from a pretty straight two to get to this four. I think he's got a slim to zero chance of getting there. Look at how straight he is on this, and if I was him, I would take my medicine and play the safety. Pot the two, give yourself a sight in the four, and just play the safety. And I think he's hooked himself. Well, there you go. Now VPMonster's the one with the problem. He's going to have to kick, and he's missed it. And straight away, having got back to within one, it's deja vu. It's help yourself to an opportunity to run out and take a 2-rack lead again. Now that shot that Monster played in the 2-ball, I can't believe that he actually tried to get to the 4. I'm assuming he was hoping to just leave a sight to play a safety, but it didn't work out, and now he could well be trailing by 2 again and running out of racks. Well, Snake Eyes has just got there. Now is he going to roll through and just leave a long cut in this 6? I mean, it's if he plays a kill shot, he's going to finish high on the 6 and just punch the 5 in. But he's playing with top here by the look of it. He's looking to run through, and well, that couldn't finish any higher than the 6 on that one. He's run into the 8. Again, there's a simple safety on, but he's lining up for the cut past the 9-ball by the look of it. Well, I'm assuming that he tried to play a safety there. If he played the cut, he was a mile off it, and Monster can see the edge of the 6. That's too hard. So the weight of shot from Monster has left him again awkward, really awkward in this 7, but it's a nice cut, and he's run into the 8 and he's pushed it safe. But he's played a reasonably decent safety, in fact a pretty good one, because he's got the snooker. Well, my eyes and my back tell me I can't go near a real table to play anything nowadays. That's well out of the equation. I don't think it would last any more than 15 minutes. Well, he's going for the kick. He's called a pocket, but he's just really hoping he gets lucky. That's all you can do. And he's found the middle pocket, and of course now Monster with ball in hand. Again, I don't like drawing for position on this 9 ball. I would much rather run around to the right hand side or draw up to the right at worst. That'll do. Now he's got a slight angle, but he just needs to come into the middle of the table. That's all he's looking for. Once again, for the second time, VPMonster's got back on level terms. Now, what he doesn't want to happen now, bear in mind that we're in the second half of this match, he does not want to assist Snake Eyes in gaining the lead again. He's got the break. And I think it's dry. Yeah, but it's safe, but there is a 1-7 combo if anybody can get a sight of this 1 ball, and that's what Snake Eyes has to be careful of. Like a trapped nerve. Well, he hasn't called the push out yet, so he's looking to kick this 1, catch the edge of it, and pot the 7, but he hasn't called the 7, so he's thinking better of it. But if Monster can see this 1 ball, you know what's going to happen. Well, I think there's enough of that 1 showing for him to call the 7. Well, he's not interested. Maybe the angle to the 7 wasn't good. I never really looked close, but Snake Eyes should have Monster in a lot of trouble now as well. Don't tell me it's going to come into the open. How about that? See, again, if he'd got that tight onto the 7, this wouldn't have happened. But it is a chance, and it's another good chance for Monster, but he's going to have to work his way down to the 3 ball. Yeah, it was hard to say whether that 7 would have went, but certainly I thought Monster could see enough of the 1 to at least push the 1 onto the 7. Whether the 7 would have went, I don't know. I should have went down to have a look at it. Well, Monster's got himself to the bottom of the table. He's got a sight in the 3, and he's got a difficult cut. He's going all out for it. It was always going to be tough, but this time Snake Eyes has a shot in the 3, and as long as he can get the cue ball around the table down to this bottom left hand side, he'll have the 4 into the middle. Oh well, would you believe it, he's run into the knuckle. And that's out, and I think Snake Eyes is gone again. This is going to be the 3rd time the cue's gone. Yeah, he'll be out in a second. It will come up on the screen. Yeah, there we go. So this is the 3rd time that Snake Eyes has lost his connection to the VP4 lobby. Potman, do me a favour. Bring up the BBC Sports channel. Type in Google, type in BBC Sport, and then put football, and then tell me how the Scottish Premiership scores are going, please, because that's the half-time interval at the moment. I could do that myself, but that would mean losing. I'd be tabbing out. Right, Snake Eyes is back for another go, and of course he's finished after rattling the jaws. 2-0 up. What about the Rangers 2-0 up as well? Right, what's he trying? He's trying a draw and a billiard onto the 8. This is a clever one, to play the combo in the 10 in the middle. Nope, he's called the 4. Oh, my eyes must be deceiving me there, because I thought he called the 10 a second ago. He says he's sorry, he doesn't know what's going on. I know what's going on. He needs a restart. I'm telling you. I'm telling him. But back to the important matter here. Monster, well, he's got ball in hand. He's brushed into the 8 and the 10 to open him up. He's left himself on the 6. Big wide gap to get on the 7. Oh, the high B's up 2-0. Well, he doesn't want to be on the rail. Well, this just makes it a wee bit fiddly again. Now you can go around behind the 9. There's plenty of room to go around behind the 9 with a bit of, he looks as if he's going left hand side to check it off the rail and out rather than going around. And the problem with that shot is he's not going far enough up the table. He should have been up the table rather than having to run up and down the table. If he'd got himself to here, he could have potted the 7 and been on the 9 that way. Make it all simple. But it looks like, for the first time in the match, after chasing for half of the match, that VPMonster is going to get himself into the lead. And he has done. And now, with the break in rack number 12, looking for a ball, looking for a shot. Now that was the 3 ball that's gone in. 5 ball has gone in, and no shot in the 1. He can go for the bank. It's a good bet. If he gets it, he should be on the 2. But it looks like a half-hearted attempt at a safety there. I mean, again, I don't think he put an awful lot of thought into that, and that is poor. Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth. Terrible. Because it's given Snake Eyes the chance, but the 8 and 10 are awkward. Now if you pot the 7 down the rail or up the rail as we look, you're still not going to pot the 8 from there. I don't think you can get to the potting angle. But he could play the breakout here and get lucky and hold in the 4. He should be able to spin across. But he shouldn't be getting this opportunity, because VPMonster played a hopeless safety. Well, what's happened here? Is he gone again? Because there's nothing happening with the queue. I think he's gone again. Although the queue's appeared this time. Yep, he's gone again. Now, surely this time there'll be a wee bit longer wait and he'll actually restart the bloody computer. Just do a restart. I mean, he says he doesn't know what's happening. That's what's happening. He's on a wireless connection, which is not the most reliable. There's probably 2 or 3 other people online at the same time, so that's eating up bandwidth. That's a simple way you start losing connection. A quick reboot and then back in may well fix it. Well, hopefully it does. Yeah, well, you can have a stable connection as long as you're the only person on it. Now, is he going to get this shot played this time? Looking for the cannon across onto the 8 and 10 and hold for the 4. Well, that has improved the situation. It's not made it much easier, but in fact I'm surprised he didn't go into that with a wee bit more power. And what's worse is he's going to have to play a limited shot again because the cue ball's near the rail on this 6 ball to get up the table and into the table for the 7. Now, does he think he can pot that 8? Oh, well, he can pot it from that angle, but he's hung up the 6. So the mistake had to come. And VPMonster is ready to pounce, and he's making sure that the 8 ball's in the open. And just drop the 7. And leave the cue ball roughly where the 7 ball is, and he's got the perfect angle to come up off that 8 for the 9. Is that 30 or 3D? Well, I won't be getting one. I'm perfectly happy with what I've got. Well, this has the match has turned around, but it has turned around with the aid of Snake Eyes, and it's now 7-5 to VPMonster, trailing 4-0 at the start. But again, having had the lead here, he doesn't want to be sloppy with the safeties and give his opponent any chances. Got to get the safety better. Now at the end of this match, guys, before you all run away, we'll have a look at the bracket and just have a reminder. I need to remind myself as well of what's to come. I think there's another match scheduled for today, but I won't be doing it. That's not going to be there. Well, Monster's got a really thin cut, but again he can play a half decent safety. But well, presuming he played the safety there, because if he played the cut he was way off it, but he's got cover. That's all you need. I mean, those cards you're talking about, you don't need a card like that to play most of the games that we've got nowadays. I mean, my card will play anything. It'll run anything. I've got Euro Truck up full blast. I've had, what do you call it, Flight Simulator up full blast, everything up full. Well, this calls for the thinnest of edges on the one. And that will do. And well, this is a test for Monster, as thin as he can, cigarette paper thin on this one ball, same shot, around the angles, and get as far away from the one as you can. Well, I would have hit that a lot harder, because you're only going to run up into this corner and run into the 8 ball or the 6. Now, the fact that Snake Eyes can only see the right side of the 1 means he's going to hit the 3. No doubt about that. Using it as a stopper, but he hasn't got the cover. And Monster has played another weak one. But it's up to Snake Eyes now to inflict the damage on Monster, but he's going to have to do it by playing a 2-6 combo past that 8 ball to keep himself at the table. This will be a good rack to run out if he can do it. And now, well, it doesn't look difficult to get to a shot in the 3 ball. Perfect angle in the 2, and go over and up past that middle pocket. Well, he's going to head towards it. That's a disaster. That is poor. I mean, he had a huge area again to get that cue ball. I mean, that cue ball can anywhere in this area here, even if he was here, but he's found the middle pocket, and that's the disaster. In the hopes of Snake Eyes taking that rack out, and VPMonster quite rightly taking his time. He's just looking at where everything's lying. Now, well, what's he playing here? Is it draw with bottom and left to go over to the right? It looks like draw. If he just plays it plain, he'll go straightish. Well, he's nudged. I thought that was the 8 ball, it's the 4. Well, it's going to have to be the... Oh Christ, the 8 ball's up there, I never even noticed it. So, a long combo, dead weight. And that's well played. Now, whatever you do, get yourself up the table, at least leave yourself good sight in the 5. And well, again, played it all wrong. Well, he's finding ways to make things difficult. Now, he's called the billiard on the 10. He's missed that. How's his luck with the 5? Well, I'm sure Snake Eyes will be relieved, and he's really got to get the job done here. Well, this is like one of these drag shots. You drag it in with draw to sneak in behind the 7. He looks as if he's checking this with left English off the top rail to go left and stay away from the 7. This is always dangerous. and he didn't go through with the shot enough, which is why he's ended up straight. And I don't think he had much room for manoeuvre there either, to be honest. And that is not the best of shots, I don't think either. No, that's poor. So Snake Eyes has been given a lifeline, but he's just thrown it and handed it back to Monster. Oh, another one's gone. Well, this could be a vital rack now. If Snake Eyes could put this away, and here's where it can go wrong, because the 10 ball being in the middle of the table, you just want to get to either the left or the right middle pocket. That's about as best you want. And again, he's way short, but I think he's scared of those middle pockets, having scratched not too long ago. It's going to have to be a good cut again. Now this has simply got to go in. Well, it's back to within one. Well, I reckon it's anybody's match now, especially if Snake Eyes can get a bit of luck here. And I don't think he is. Nothing in the break. And Monster, though, doesn't have a shot either. But there's room to find a good safety. If he misses his knuckle, he could have spun there, trying to spin past the 8 ball. I think he's still got partial cover here. I don't know whether he can get through that gap, can he? Well, he can certainly get the one, but not an awful lot that he can do, though. And he's just overhit that, trying to draw it and kill it behind the 5. It's another snooker. And he's missed a kick. Well, the table's a wee bit ugly looking. Now, where's the problem here? Well, the problem's making sure that you get off that top rail. I don't know. I mean, that is the 2 ball there, isn't it? Right, so it's the 2. And he's not getting into it enough. Good afternoon. A wee bit late to the party, but you've arrived at the right time. Well, that visit there from Monster was short-lived. Snake Eyes overcutting the 2. Now this time I don't think Monster has got the full cover, has he? Let's have a quick look. I think he's calling the bank, if he can see it. Yeah. Well, don't get Project Cars 3, it's a pile of crap. That is I mean, if ever you want to see a driving game that's gone full sellout to being an arcade racer, then that's what Project Cars 3 is. I mean, I played it for, I think, no more than 15 minutes, and straight into the bin. So glad I never paid for that. Well, Snake Eyes is going to have Monster in a heap of trouble here. Well, I don't know why he's only played that sort of shot. I mean, that's crying out to play that with a bit of right spin, clip off the 3, spin off the left side rail, punch yourself up to the top right hand corner and have Monster in a pile of trouble. But meanwhile, Monster, being so friendly and helpful, has decided he's going to go around the angles and find his way into the middle pocket again. Well, this at 7-6 down and having a second bite at the cherry, it's got to go. I've still got my Logitech Driving Force GT, the one that would come out for the PlayStation 3, which I mean, how old is that now? When Gran Turismo, was it Gran Turismo 5 when it came out? I got it for that. So how many years ago is that? And mine is showing signs of wear and tear. There's a couple of buttons on it are a bit dodging out. The pedals still work fine and it still steers fine, but I'm sort of beginning to run out of well, not run out of buttons, but you know, once one button goes, another button starts going. It's just through wear and tear. I mean, it is an awful lot of good use, I can assure you that. But this is the vital rack here for Snake Eyes. And he should be all square. Well, this has all come about from the unforced error again from VPMonster. Potting the 3, running around the angles into the middle pocket, and Snake Eyes has delivered another good break. I mean, the balls, well, they were all running, but they've all running, none gone into pockets. And that, another safety from Monster, has gone wrong. He just seemed, I think he's rushing shots here. He's not taking enough time to get himself set up. He's too impatient. And when you do that, I mean, this is a bit like that match that I watched with what match was that again? I can't remember his name. I mean, right from the start, it wasn't in this tournament, it was like 2 tournaments ago. What was his name? Bakermaker, was it? Was it Baker? I think it was Bakermaker. And straight away, he was just so much in a hurry with every shot and just kept making mistakes and gave away about 5 or 6 racks because of it. And Monster's just getting a bit like that. He just needs to slow up a bit, take stock of the situation a wee bit more, because this is not the right time to keep doing these type of shots. Just careless. And now he's the one in trouble. That's a good safety, and I think that middle pocket's in the way. It looks to be in the way of the kick. Yeah, he's trying to spin it from above and he's clipped it. Called the 8 ball just in case. Now the 5 isn't a problem as long as you can get down on it. Yeah, the Logitech Driving Force GT, that's the one I've got, and I mean, I have had it for a good number of years. That's a good cut. Pace is good, sitting nice on the 6, and, well, dare I say it, if he can get the 8 and get out onto the 9, he's going to find himself in the lead. I mean, if you're going to play this sensibly, you just more or less leave the cue ball where you are, where the 7 ball is, like that, and play the 8 and come off the rail and the top rail and out into the table, so that you're rolling the 9 in into this bottom right hand corner. You don't want to get over ambitious here, try and force it all the way around the table to get the 9 into the right middle. Oh dear, well, he's not read the cut on that 8, and VPMonster lives again. Although this isn't pretty. Oh, he's got to get this right on the edge. And it goes, and it needs to keep going, and that will do. Well, whatever you do, don't scratch in this bottom left. And he's played the stunt. Didn't want to risk letting the cue ball run. Now, has he got away with it? Because the cut angle in the 9 is perfect for the cue ball to run around that top right hand corner pocket and come down the left hand side. You don't need to do anything with the cue ball, you just pot the 9, the cue ball will do the rest. He's well overcut it. Now, what does Monster do? I mean, he can go thin on the left hand side and get distance. He's gone all out for the bank, but this cue ball's going to have to run to have any sort of shot in the 10 though, at that distance. And it goes, and he's got the spin, and he's got it moving, and he's got the cut. Well, Snake Eyes had his chance again, and the chances are coming thick and fast here, and well, you can't rely on either of them to take the first chance they're getting. But it's 8-7 to VPMonster. The break, and nothing doing. Well, the pot in the 1 and run into the 9, and that might have been what he played, but again, it could also have been just playing for safety. I won't know that. But if he'd went for the cut, he would have had the same result if he'd potted it. That 9 ball, well, the 1's gone in, but he hasn't called it. Where does it say that? Have you read that anywhere? The last update they did was to the skies and the clouds. Well, that sounds a bit, I mean, considering I was following that game about goodness knows how many years, and then it all went quiet, and then suddenly it appears on Steam, and it went through beta testing, and you're telling me they've abandoned it? Well, I need to read that. I mean, that's a bit like what would that be like in comparison? That's a bit like it's like getting to the semi-final of the cup and then withdrawing your team. You know, you're just, I don't think that's a very good comparison, but I mean, it's like going all the way and then not going all the way. I mean, they hadn't even got the multiplayer going on it, because all you could do was race with the AI carts, the AI drivers, and if you were just doing, you know, lap times, your laps went onto a leaderboard against other people, but you weren't actually physically racing anybody because they never had the multiplayer up and running. But I'm gutted if that's what it says in their forum. Well, I'll go and have a look at that after I've looked at the final bracket, or the bracket after this match. It's Snake Eyes to get back all square again, but that 10 ball is awkward. Any time you're on or near that rail, near that middle pocket, it's an awkward shot. He's going to have to make sure he gets as close to this right hand rail when he plays this 9 ball. But did I tell you, was you on the stream, anybody on the stream the other day when I said what happened? I mean, I downloaded Project Cars 3, right? And I started a career, and you start with about, I don't know, I think you start with about, is it about 15,000, whether it's dollars or whatever, and you're given a car to start with. And so I raced, I think it was the first 3 races, right? And then I decided to upgrade my car. So I upgraded it and I was left with like 2,000 credits or something. And then when I finished that first series of races, I went to the next series, and it showed me that 2 other events had opened up. And so I went to enter one of the events, and I couldn't enter it because I had the wrong type of car. And you can't sell your bloody car, or at least I couldn't see where I could sell it, and I didn't have enough money to buy the car that I should have needed. So I couldn't, as far as I could see, I could not progress the career. So I thought, well, this is a pile of crap, and just uninstalled it. I mean, I sat for 15 minutes thinking, well, how can I progress this career if I've got a car, I've decided to upgrade it, give it, you know, better brakes, better engine management system and all of that stuff, and then find out that I need a different type of car to get into the bloody next phase of races, and I couldn't do it. So that was it. It got short shrift and binned, never to go near again. Well, Snake Eyes is the man at the table, or the woman, whichever it's to be, but with the chance to get to within 1, and he's going to have to find a gap. Well, he's got it, and he can drop across for the 5. Stubbs, why is it you like games that are 25 years old and nobody would ever... I mean, that game you talked about, nobody's got it. It probably doesn't even run in Windows 10. And then you're talking about another game I've never heard of. Well, Snake Eyes couldn't have finished any worse. Right on the 5 ball and looking to get distance, but well, that is poor. And Monster will not get a better chance to get to the hill if he can draw up the table, but he shouldn't even be getting this shot. Well, that's a good shot. How does the driving feel in PS3 Project Cars? I don't know, because I never even used it with wheel. Because I was reading in a lot of the posts that a lot of the people were slamming it and slagging it off, and they're saying it, you know, the guy I watched on YouTube said directly that it was made for a controller, so I thought, right, let's just drive it with a controller. You can tell it is made for the controller. So I used the Xbox controller on it, but as I say, for the amount of time I was trying it out, it wasn't even worth trying it with a wheel. And I'm just so glad I never paid 40 quid for that, like I used to do in the past, and then find out it's a pile of crap. Well, Monster has given Snake Eyes a bit of a lifeline, but not enough, I don't think, to pot this 6. He can't get to the potting angle, but he's going to have to try and get something better than what he played last time. Now, he can cut this to the bottom rail as we look, or the top rail, and he can bring the cue ball back into the middle of the table, but he has to get this dead to the rail to leave it safe. Somewhere in the middle of the top cushion and the cue ball in the middle of the table, that would be like really the only option I can see. Well, now he's at least calling a pocket, but he's really just hoping to get distance. Well, almost scratched, and he'll take that because his 6 has gone past the middle pocket. It looks perfectly safe to me. Well, this match started at 3 o'clock. We've been on for 90 minutes and more for this match, and that's a good shot. That is a much better touch by VPMonster, and that's got Snake Eyes and bother. Looking, well, the angle isn't there to kick that in off that rail. It's too narrow. He's never going to do that. Not from there. Commentator's eye tells you he's not going to do that. He's just looking to kick it and get it away, and if he can, leave the cue ball somewhere down in this corner. Now, is that going to go behind the 9? Well, not quite, but it leaves Monster with the option to probably cut that, well, maybe cut it a bit narrower, wider than that, but to the bottom rail, and again get the cue ball up the table. I mean, he could be brave and go for the crossbank. He's playing this, well, he's decided to change the English. He was going with inside left here to check the cue ball straighter off that top rail, but there is a safety there. Now, the only problem with that shot there is he didn't play it with enough pace to get the 6 ball to the top rail, and all he's done is given Snake Eyes a free go. And I think he was, well, if he'd a bit more confidence, he'd have played it with a bit more confidence, and goodness me, Snake Eyes has chickened out in the shot, and I think the nerves are showing because both players are playing a bit tentatively. But it's VPMonster who's got the gilt edge opportunity to get to the hill, and my god, what's he done here? I mean, the touch for the draw is non-existent because there's no way in this earth he wanted to be playing the 9 ball from there. No matter what you say, you'll never convince me of that one. Well, that's a good one. That is a well controlled shot. A good recovery, but he should never have been there. But this to take him within one. Oh my god. Would you believe it? I mean, it's all happening here. What a miss in the 10 ball. I mean, I think they're just overthinking things. That you're either not taking enough time or you're looking for a problem. And that 10 ball, well, that is gifted. Gifted Snake Eyes the win in that rack. And now he's breaking off. In rack number, what rack are we in now? Rack number 18. And VPMonster will be kicking himself out. I'll tell you something, VPMonster's shins are going to be black and blue where he's kicking himself. And he's going to have a black and blue mark on his forehead as well where he's hitting it off the wall. Because he's made some right blunders here. Well, it's a start. The combo onto the 8 ball. The 1 ball shouldn't go away very far. Oh, here's the cue ball. I think he's okay. Well, Snake Eyes has got everything wide open. But I don't have a lot of confidence in him running this table, even though they are wide open. Now, is he going to somehow find a way to lock himself out in this 3 ball? If he can't find a gap between the 6 and the 7, because that's the gap you have to be playing for, this gap here will give you a sight in the 3. Well, he's trying to go inside to the narrower gap, and he's got there. He's dicing with death here. But around the angles, and he needs to play this sharpish rather than letting it run away up, because again you get yourself out of line, and this is where the problems start, because he's not only going to have to get the 4 but get into the cue ball, and it's in this dangerous territory where the right middle pocket is a serious threat here, because it's a draw onto the rail and across. Well, he's went forward and around to take that out of the equation, and that's probably the best shot of the day to get him onto that 5. And now he's got to take it home. I think he knew fair well that it was going to be a scratch in the middle pocket if he'd went for the draw. Went for it with top all around the angles, finished perfect in the 5, but he's now going to have to let the cue ball run again. And VPMonster's chances in the remaining in this tournament hang by a thread. So this is it. Getting on to the 9. And Monster will have nightmares about that 10 ball. That 10 ball was worse than Cobra's 10 ball. I mean, it was not difficult. Well, I take it back. Cobra's 10 ball was worse than that, because his was straighter. And talking about straight, Snake Eyes is staring down this 9 ball. Just kill the cue ball and leave a straight in 10 for the match. Well, in all honesty, Snake Eyes has got out of jail, and VPMonster got back into the match twice, sitting staring down that 10 ball, and the end result is he's out the tournament. Well, it's a win for Snake Eyes by 10 racks to 8, but the next time I play with VPMonster, I'm not going to mention the 10 ball because that might be a sore point. Right, let's have a look at the bracket, guys, before we go. Did I update that thing? No, I haven't. Right, quick reminder on where we stand. First of all, we have the result from late last night between Moz and Jose. Moz won 14 racks to 7. We've got Albinario already through to play Moz, so that's going to be a cracking match. Acero and Larry are playing tomorrow at 3 PM, and I think that is the first match in our triple header tomorrow. I'm sort of losing track here. I need to make sure I'm right. We've got a match tonight between Legit Matthews and Christian at 7 o'clock. But that's the first match tomorrow, I think, between Larry and Acero. And if we work our way down, we've got the match to follow that at 5 PM between Cobra and Shaft Tracks on the one loss side. And then if we go further down, I'm sure there's another one. Yeah, we've got the Mooncake match at 7 PM. Mooncake and Sergaresh. So those are the matches that are scheduled. The one tonight and the other 3 tomorrow. I think that is about it. No, there's another one, which is that the 17th, between Spectre, Dawn and Bankster. So that's a good few days away. And that is us up today, guys. So with that, thank you for your company. Take care, stay safe, keep your distance, and I will see you again tomorrow if you're going to join us at some time. Remember, if you can't, these videos of the live streams will be up on my YouTube channel at some point in the next day or two. So until we meet again, I will see you later.